So Arnaud.
So Dan, I would like to welcome Akim, David, Gabor, Gerhard, Akan, Ilja, Krumislav, Oleg, Okan, Pietr, Richard, Rob, Rudolph, me, and Vladimir, and Mr. Dan on board.
Thank you very much. So
you know that we love you. We love you guys.
Arnaud, why not to start with you having a nice few words, like a presentation?
Yeah, no, I would like to first, I'm very glad to be with you guys because it's a kind of tradition. We always open, since at least 3-4 years, all events with the AUTOBEST jury. So that's a kind of rendezvous. So we are here, and first I'm going to go through all the infrastructure of the event, and then after I'm going to talk about the car. Is it okay for you guys?
Yeah, please.
So we are here in the main studio. First, I think this is important to say that obviously I would like to be able to welcome you physically, but to be honest, it is impossible in this moment to do a live event, physical live event, because everybody is afraid of everything, and no finance guy will allow me to spend money to welcome people. So we've decided very in advance to go through a live session, but we decided to do not make any compromise in terms of quality, which basically means a 20 minutes presentation, then live questions. Okay, so the live question will happen here, and then after you will have the possibility to ask individual questions in these boxes. You know, it's like Amsterdam, you know. Look. Okay, so let me introduce the new C4. And I'm going inside the studio to present you the car. So I'm back on the studio because the connection is more stable.
Okay, great.
Sorry for that. I want it to be like at TV, but it does not work, obviously, when you are too audacious, you are not, it does not work. So that's a very important car for Citroën because we were not present on the compact hatch segment in, I think, the way we deserve it. So we are back to a kind of Citroën legacy. Remember that that car is the 10th generation of compact hatch since 1928. The first was in 1928. It was called, by the way, C4. We've sold 12.5 million compact hatch since the creation of the brand. And that new car is the generation number 10. The biggest seller was, for your information, the ZX. And BX was also a great seller. BX, ZX were great sellers. I think that car is very loyal to the Citroën DNA because you've got a very strong design, a very bold design, but it's not a weird design. It's a design that people will love and people can buy. You've got a car that is that has a bold design, but is very loyal to the tradition of Citroën of comfort. You've got the progressive hydraulic cushions. You've got the latest generation of Citroën Advanced Comfort seats, and it will be quite clear when you will test drive the car. And you've got the 20 driving aids that put the car at the climates of what we can offer in terms of technology and safety. At this moment, it's exactly the same number of driving aids as C5 Aircross SUV. And we are very loyal also to what we are doing. You have still the connected cam on that car. So we have it on C3, on C5 Aircross, and on that car. We still have the famous air bumps on the floor of the doors, on the lower side of the doors on the car. And you still have the personalization. We have 31 exterior combination, 7 body paints, 5 color packs, and six interior ambiances. So we still have the spirit of Citroën of personalization. So of course, the novelty out of the design and the car in itself is the fact that this object will be 100% electric. So you will be able to buy it 100% electric, or you will be able to buy it diesel, or you will be able to buy it a petrol. So that's quite new, and that's original, because in fact there are not too many offers on the segment at this moment. Everybody is saying that they go electric, but in the reality we still are waiting the Volkswagen ones that are still not there, and this car is coming by the end of this year. So it's a true advantage. We will sell that car in 68 markets, which means everywhere, which means Europe, Middle East, Africa, Eurasia, India, Pacific, Latin America. It's a world car. Huh? It's part of the core model strategy, which is very important for Carlos. What I would like to tell you is that, of course, at this moment, everybody's talking about technology, but there is something that I like in this car, which is, back to basics. Back to basics. That's the main car for families. That's the main car for families. And when you go on the car, I go on the car. Is it okay for you? You still have the connection?
Yeah, it's still working.
Okay, it's still working. So let's pray. So now I go on the back of the car. It's the back of the car. I open the door. I go on the back of the car and look at that. That's the knee space.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can see it. So you are going to tell me, yeah, but Arnaud is not very tall. That's not fair. No, but that's impressive. In fact, that's the perfect combination, because you've got the comfort, the pleasure of the drive. But you have a lot of space behind, and you still have a big volume in the boot, because it's 380 liters. It's even more if you push the seats, the back seats, and you've got a flat boot. You see what I mean? Which permits to be very, very convenient. I would like also to show you things where we were not perfect in the past. You remember that when we launched the Cactus, we wanted to simplify massively the way to manage the screens and the heating and all the stuff. But now we are back to panels. Do you see my fingers?
Yes.
Okay, so you can manage all the heating of the car and all the heated seats, and without going to the panel there. You see, so it's independent. And it was a kind of critique on the previous Citroen C4 Cactus, even C3 and C5 aircraft. So we learn from the past. We kept the technology and the intuitivity of the system, but we have shortcuts that are very useful and still very convenient. Okay. There is something which is totally new, and it's a scoop because we didn't say it before. Citroën, it's not only a car for the drivers, it's also a car for the passengers. And you've got something completely new in that car, which is this. Look, I'm going to show you. Do you see my finger there?
Yes.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
I push there. There is a place where I can put my iPad, okay? And then if I click there, I've got an iPad holder.
We cannot see it, but please.
You see it there?
Yeah, but
that's an iPad holder.
Okay.
That's an iPad holder, which permits to plug your iPad there. It's called SmartPad holder, and it's we've got a patent on this, and it will permit to the passenger to watch the iPad and not just watch the the road and do nothing in the car. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw it properly, but for sure, when you will see the show, you will see it properly in the reports that we will do. I like the design. I don't know if you see properly the design.
Yeah.
So the car is really inspired by the 1919 concept, because you've got the big wheels. You've got the posture is very compact, you know, very bold. But some people tell me that they see something about GS in the past. Maybe not. To be honest, as you know, at Citroën, we do not go neo-retro design. So we always reinvent cars from a blank page. So this is what we've done with that car. Did you hear me properly, or
Yes.
my English was awful and I was not clear?
And we can see you.
Oh, but that's marvelous. That's marvelous. So of course it's too early to talk about prices and things like that. But of course it is Citroën. So Citroën is a mainstream brand which is sharp in the pricing, in the art of the market. So you can imagine that it will be very loyal to the AUTOBEST tradition, and be aware that the name of this event is Citroën Goes Electric for All. Citroën Goes Electric for All, which is a promise that we delivered on February 27 when I present to you Ami,
Yes.
which is now sold online, and we have already sold more than 500 cars online without no dealers of Ami. So in the same spirit, we want to make electric approachable for people. And now we have we will have 6 cars by the end of this year. 6 cars. Ami is the first one, C5 Aircross PHEV the second one, C4 which is the third one. We've got Jumpy LCV, and we've got Jumper Electric. So we've got a complete range, and at the end of and next year we will have the Berlingo electric. And remember that we have also the Space Tourer, the big van, the Space Tourer for passenger car, which is electric. So we have 6 currently. We will have 1 more next year. So it's not bad. I mean, always people are talking about Volkswagen. At least we have already 6 guys. So this is there, and this is for all, and not only for rich people and happy fews. So we did that car specifically to win AUTOBEST. That was the cahier des charges. That was the brief. So in fact, we don't even want to go anywhere else. We are AUTOBEST fighters. You know what I mean? So, and you know, I am a winner. So I won 3 AUTOBEST awards in my life, and after I can die. You know, so I will die next year because that's finished. I will have 3, and that's all. You know. It's called the hat trick. The hat trick.
Okay, Arnaud.
So please ask me questions. Okay. I stopped talking. Sorry for that.
No problem. My dear colleagues, as you know the drill, please raise your hands in the button down there, so I will know exactly who is asking questions. In the meantime, I will ask Arnaud. I will start the questions, and I will ask Arnaud to tell us what is the plan to deploy the car. What does it mean? When is going to be sold? How you start? And obviously, you said that you cannot mention the pricing, but we suspect you can make an announcement regarding the electric version, which definitely is the hot one.
Okay, so first we will, as I said, we will launch the car in 68 markets, which is a major. So it means really in the PSA strategy, it means that it's a world car. It's not like the previous Cactus that was not sold in every region in the world. That car will be sold in every region in the world. The unveil is today, so June 30. We will open the orders potentially on Q3, Q4, at the end of Q3, at the start of Q4 this year. The car will arrive physically at the end of the year or beginning of next year. The world test drive will happen in November, December. So I will need to find a bit of sun somewhere in the planet to make a beautiful picture and test drive. And so that's the calendar. And then the 68 markets will be rolled out starting December 21 to the end of the year. But we will already sell online in many markets on Q3, Q4. You know that at Citroen, we sell online. We sell online, fully online, because we've got Citroen Store. And so we are able to sell online. So we will not wait to have the cars everywhere to sell online. This is exactly what we are doing at this moment on AMI, and it's working. So that's the answer to the first question, I think. Did I was complete? Yeah. The price, no, I cannot give you any data regarding the price, because first, it's too early. Two, I don't want to give any competitive advantage to my dear colleagues from the Volkswagen Group that are struggling at this moment, and they want to know everything about us. So we will not give this for sure at all today. But you can rely on us to be very loyal to the spirit of the brand for sure. We don't want to. There is no plan to make I don't know a new strategy and change the pricing strategy of the brand. So it will be loyal to what you have seen on C3, C3 Aircross, C5 Aircross. It's in the heart of the market. We are a mainstream pure player, and we are not at all a luxury brand or even a premium brand. That's not. We are a popular brand.
Arnaud, as you mentioned the testing time, allow me to tell you that this year the AUTOBEST final test is going to be at the beginning of November. So
okay.
It's good to keep in mind for the C4. Okay, now I will invite Mishko Barzov from Macedonia to put his questions. Please, Mishko.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you very much. Hi, Arnaud.
Hello, Mishko. Hello, Mishko. How are you, my friend?
Hi. So I have several questions, but the rules is only one, and I make a synergy of them, if it's possible. Yeah, you show us.
You're the boss. You're the boss.
I'm far from boss, but okay, thank you. You show us the iPad holder. Is it only specially for iPad, or we can use any tablet on the market?
No, you can use any tablet, because you've got an adapter that permits to put any tablet. The thing is that it has to be the right size. But okay, you can put any tablet. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good point.
Thank you. Please give me some information about the electrification. Is the same basis as PSA has on the B segment? What about batteries, and what are your plans with engines with internal combustion?
So I'm not a technical guy, but technically it's the same electric platform as the 2008 and the DS3 Crossback. So this is a technology that you perfectly know. What is interesting in that technology is that you recover 80% of your charge in 30 minutes. That's the speed of the charging. So you will know all the details, because you already know 2008 and DS3 Crossback. So you will have everything in the press release and all the details, and you know that I'm not a tech guy, but clearly this is really the right car, the right moment with the right technology, for sure. So it's a power of 136 horsepower, torque 260 Nm, and you've got high tension battery, lithium-ion, 400 volt, 50 kilowatt hour, and a range WLTP of 350 kilometer. Based on the fact that, you know, it's always the same debate. I think there are two elements that are very interesting. The fact that you recharge your battery very quickly is for sure an advantage. You know that we have an application with Free2Move app, which permit to localize all the recharging stations on your travel, which is cool. And the second thing is that that's an exception, because 90% of the people are using their car on a daily mode with a minimum 50 kilometers journey. So potentially what could change is that we may, you know, on that segment, it's very B2B, but perhaps with that energy, we will go back much more to a passenger car, in fact. But we don't know. So it's very open. You know, it's quite a pioneer, that car. There are not so many competitors, in fact. You've got Nissan Leaf, you've got, but the rest is not really there. So it's fascinating. It's a new era. I hope I did my best to give you an answer.
Thank you.
Okay, Håkan, please, from Sweden.
Yes, hi.
Hello.
Hi. I always been a big fan of the fact that the Citroen has dared to go their own way when it comes to design and the features of the cars, not the mainstream. And what we see now with the new C4, is this a beginning of a transition towards a more mainstream design language of Citroens?
But it's a very dangerous question,
I know.
Hakan, and the answer can be completely dangerous too. I don't know what's behind the scene in your question, so I'm going to be very safe. But what I like in this design is that it goes back to true Citroëns with a very strong, assertive design, a very clear posture, which shows the direction for hatch and the sedans. So we can say that it's a new generation of design for sure. You've got also the V design for the front light, which was shown for the first time on C Experience concept, then on AMI 1 concept, then on 1919 concept. This design is now on the new C3. And it's going to go everywhere. So that's the new generation of design. It's bold, but you know, it's not weird. It's not the design that is so original that nobody loves. So I think that that design is as a huge love power capacity. I don't know if it's very English what I'm saying, but I'm sure that some of you understood what I mean. So original, but still people will buy it, and loyal to the Citroën DNA. You can see in this design elements that were coming from the 1919 concept that we unveiled last year. But some people, some journalists that are experts of Citroën are saying that they also see the GS behind. To be honest, there is no tentative to go neo-retro. So to be very honest, there was not any ambition to make a neo-retro GS, for sure not, even if that car was quite a success, by the way. But for sure it is a new generation with big wheels. It's like a hatch with a coupe style. So of course it is SUV inspired, but it's still a hatch and it's still a compact. And you will see that it's not artificial, because when you go in the car, and that's why I started the presentation with the roominess and the roominess on the back seats, which is quite astonishing, and basically a very good surprise, because more and more brands on that segment are sacrificing the space on the back.
Good.
I have the time slot for one last question. I'm sorry, guys. I've been a bit long in my answers.
Okay, Okan, you are the lucky one. Please raise your.
Okay, hello Arnaud. My question is very short actually. On your trailers for new C4, we saw that ZX, BX, and all popular Citroen models in the compact segment. But you skipped the 2 generations before the C4 Coupe. Why? Because this design is so similar with the C4 Coupe.
Yeah, no, I didn't. So that's a good question. And by the way, we can debate during 300 days about this. There was a debate: do we put ZX or not? Do we put Xantia or not? I decided not to put the C4 Coupe because it was a coupe, and not there was not 4 doors, except if I am drunk. But I don't remember there was 4 doors. So I put the 4 doors one. So that's the main reason. But I put the 5 doors one. There was the C4 first generation for 5 doors in the movie, if I do remember well. It's in the Motorola telephone. So that's the answer. The previous C4, I didn't put it because obviously it didn't have the same personality as all the legacy of Citroën. That's life. That's life. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And there is no taboo, my friend, about this. Clearly, journalists have been always tough with us when we were launching. We were in between when we were stopping C4, replacing by a Cactus facelift. Because you remember, we have always been loyal. We have always said that we will have a next C4 generation, and that car is there now. So to be honest, yes, I agree. There is one missing, but I think it's big drama, and I think it's made on purpose to make journalists talk.
Okay, thank you so much. Merci beaucoup.
Because we love you.
Okay.
But that's a good point. That's a good point.
So we don't have time for other questions, I guess.
I can give you one.
Okay, who won? Oleg.
Delphine is going to kill me, but I give you one.
Okay, Oleg.
I give you one because we are friends.
Oleg?
Oleg from Ukraine.
Exactly.
Where is Oleg? Ukraine. I love Ukraine.
That's a moment to find him. Oleg, where you are?
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay,
I don't know.
Hey, Oleg.
That's the question.
Arnaud, before you die as a terrible consequence of the win in the possible win AUTOBEST title, I would like to know what's the situation in France within the electric cars registration. The beginning of the year was very promising for the electrified cars, and you as a marketing guy would know exactly what the share of the electric motors on the new C4 will be or plan to be. What is your expectations?
So, Oleg, we have to be very clear, because at this moment we are living in a period where it's difficult to understand the figures first. And I'm going to explain to you why. Because during 3 months, there was no sale. And you know that in France, there is a system where you sell the car, and then you deliver the car, and then you register the car. So the figures that you are looking internationally for France are not the sales, they are the registrations. So you have to wait 3 months, the next 3 months, so potentially probably August, September, October, to understand the true share of market of electric in France. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And that because sometimes that's different in some markets. In France, it is like this. So nobody is clear on the true share of electric on the market in France. And I'm sure that the figures that you read today are much below the reality, much below the reality. For one single reason, for one additional reason, is that the government put incentive on electric starting June 1st. So you will not have an immediate impact. It will take 2-3 months to have the impact. So I will give you a rendezvous. I will give you a rendezvous at the end of September to better understand the registration figures about electric, at least in France. Okay. Delphine, what's the target share for electric on the sales for C4? It's a question from Oleg in Ukraine. Around 10%. Around 10%.
Mm-hmm. Good.
I try to be sharp. I try to be sharp in my answer before dying. Hey, you don't kid too much, Oleg, huh? Because when you look at all the trophies he had just over his head, look at all the trophies. Wow.
Yeah, Sam.
Hey, you are my benchmark, Oleg. I would like so many trophies like you.
Thank you.
Okay, Arnaud. Anything else we can do now, or you have to go to the next appointment?
No, I need to go to the next appointment. But you were, Dan, you were right to insist to get that session with you. I'm very proud, and I didn't know if it was possible. Obviously, it was. And I think we need to keep that format for you always, ever. You are great guys. We sincerely appreciate you. It's not fake. It's true. You know it. And remember that we have created AMI. Remember, we have created AMI. So we have invented AMI. We have now the new C4, which is an auto-based racer. And we have, for the next award, which will be the Best Marketing Director Award, that Dan will create for sure. You have candidates there.
Bravo.
Okay. Arnaud, we cannot see you anymore. We just have a picture. Can you hear us?
Finito.
Arnaud, can you hear us? Okay, probably this is it. Thank you, Arnaud. I hope you can still hear us.